Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Sadhguru at NID, Ahmedabad, Youth and Truth. Anyways, I'm trying to complete this series. He has done one fairly recently, I believe. I'm glad he's still doing it, so let's go ahead and give this video a shot.
Good evening, one and all. We are grateful to have Sadhguru to address us in this session. Chalo ek naye baatein ho jaye. Today, the moderators are Vaibhav, Pratiti, and myself, Adrik.
You got only one fan.
When asked to this community about questions, we received a plethora of it. We handpicked a few which were relevant to this session and we'd request Sadhguru to address it.
Can I say a few words before the question? Sure. No. Can I say a few words before the questions?
Yeah, sure.
Well, namaskaram, good afternoon to everyone. So, why this Youth and Truth? How did it come about? In the last 36 years, wherever I go, one constant refrain has been people always asking me this question, thousands of them.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here because he says this in about all of them. And if you don't watch it, please again go watch it in Sadhguru's. Only because it'll save multiple videos for me. I'll be right back. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. I did listen a little bit to it. He did have a little bit of a difference. I liked it at the very end that you should not be the obstacle of your own path in life. I'm paraphrasing here, but it is very much so.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. So the first question is…
I've seen people copying answers, but I've never seen anybody copying questions.
Yeah, so there's a statement and it is from a book called Angels and Demons, which is very popular book among the youth. And the statement is, science is too young to understand religion. So, being a mystic, what is your understanding about science and the relationship between science and religion?
Science is too young to understand religion.
Yes.
See, when you say… let's get to the fundamentals. When you say religion, when somebody says, I'm religious, they always refer to themselves as believers, right? That means they believe something. What does believing something mean? Well, something that you do not know, because of a certain cultural ambience or a family ambience or a group of friends can get together and they believe something. Belief essentially means something that you do not know, you assume, gather enough people around you and concretize that as the reality. If you want to believe something, you always need company. You need a flock around you. If you're alone and you believe something, you will look stupid.
I was gonna say, you can believe something when you're by yourself, but you know, I mean, if you want to believe it, you want to believe it. You know, again, as long as you're not forcing your belief on anyone, it's perfectly fine. But I mean, you know, it looks stupid. I mean, maybe sometimes, but again, to me, it doesn't really matter. If you want to believe in something and you're the only one who believes in it, then as long as you're not forcing it.
You need company, you need 1,000 people who believe the same thing. Only then it feels like a great thing. Because belief will give you confidence without clarity.
I love that quote.
If you believe something, suddenly you are confident, but there is no clarity. Confidence is not a substitute for clarity. Confidence without clarity is actually a disaster. It's one of the worst human disasters. That people have confidence when they can't see clearly is a great disaster. Much suffering has unfolded out of this for humanity, for individual people and for the larger humanity. So much has been done. So why do people believe something? Fundamentally, you are not sincere enough to admit, I do not know. I do not know, the value of I do not know has not been realized.
Also, I think the reason why people believe in something is mostly out of fear, especially with religion, especially in the past. Fearing of eternal damnation in hell, fearing the consequences of the church, feeling the consequences of, the military power, or being punished for not believing, not fitting in. A lot of fear, ostracization. I don't think I said that word quite correctly. But yes, I think most of it's out of fear, I do believe. And now, I think in modern times, most of it's out of convenience because of what you've been raised in the family. And there's a quote from, I can't remember, it was during my times when I was watching atheists versus religious people. They're saying, why does religion have geographic boundaries? I was like, that's actually interesting. And most people tend to pick up the religions from their families, but now that we're able to travel, we're able to go to other places and study many different things, now that geographic boundary has kind of broken up a little bit. But there's still very much areas where there's very concentrated people who just, if they're this religion and their children ends up just being in that religion because it's just easier to fit in, it's just easier to go through life without having to add more resistance to your life by fighting something that's already there.
Only when you see I do not know, the longing to know, the seeking to know, and the possibility of knowing becomes a living reality in your life. Everything that you do not know, you believe. It will give you confidence. If everybody around you believes the same thing, it feels like a fantastic thing. But if you are the only one who believes that, you will feel like an idiot. Yes or no? So, by gathering a group or by attesting what you believe to something else, something that you consider as an authority, you have made authority the truth. Well, truth should be the only authority if you want to move forward with life. But at the same time, these belief systems which you refer to as various religions on the planet have worked wonderfully to provide solace to people. So there are two different things in one's life. Are you seeking solace or are you seeking a solution for your life? If you're seeking a solution, you must seek the truth. If you're seeking solace, belief works very well. Or in a way, it's a mass psychiatry and it's inexpensive and it works pretty good. So I wouldn't disturb it simply. Uprooting it will freak a lot of people. But should we evolve beyond that? Definitely we should. But science as you know it today, does it know everything? No. Its instruments of knowing are very simplistic and it is struggling. The only reason science is as important as it is simply because the spill out of technology. So science has taken great steps, but still their instruments of perception or what they're using as their fundamental logic and what is being done is very simplistic. Today modern physicists have come to this and they're clearly saying, we not only do not know, we will never know. They understand with these instruments, they cannot go further than where they are. But with the physical world, they've done a fantastic job. Knowing the life itself, no. With the physical world, they've done a great job. So, what comes out of science? Can I tell you a joke? It's okay, story? You all right? Because you look so serious, all of you, it scares me.
I swear Sadhguru asked if he could tell a joke, jeez. Also, there's another thing, I just started to notice how Sadhguru talks. It's like, what we mean by religion, what we mean by… He says something along those lines, I can't remember exactly what it is, but what do we mean by religion, like you said earlier? It's very interesting, this is something I noticed in his speech pattern. Because I don't see him having… Sorry to bring this up just out of nowhere, it's just, it just came up and I didn't have a hard time, where Lakhani always removes it, puts on and off his glasses. Everyone kind of has this little quirk, and I guess Sadhguru said a speech pattern. But yeah, can I tell you a joke? It's another thing he does, it's kind of funny though.
You know, this happened in 2050. A group of scientists got an appointment with God and they went there. They told him, see, hey God, you done quite well till now with creation, your design is quite good. But everything that you can do, we can do. It's time you retire. So God asked, is that so? What is it that you can do? So they said, see, we can make life. What more than that? God said, okay, give me a demo.
No, no.
They took a bit of soil
Oh,
and
okay.
did whatever they had to do, many things. And after some time, this little baby started crying, came alive. God said, that's quite impressive, but first get your own soil. We are forgetting that we are standing in a very small context and making conclusions about everything in the universe. So that is science's problem. The problem of the religion is, they know everything without knowing a thing. So how do you arrive at these things?
So real quick, that's a I like that kind of analogy, he talked about God and the scientist there. First create your own soil. I guess it's pointing out the fact that we can create a lot of things, but we're still missing the underlying thing of what created those things in the first place. Without those things being created in the first place, we'd have nothing to create. We could not create anything. Is that what he's getting at?
I had a very nasty joke, but you looking like a nice guy, so… So let me downgrade the joke. This happened. In New York City, a 8-year-old boy got home from school one afternoon. He had a very progressive mother at home. Obviously, she was single.
Whoa! Obviously she was single? You know, it's mostly true probably.
And he came home and asked, Mom, is God a man or a woman? You know, this is a big debate in America. Is God a man or a woman? They tried to settle this in the last election. And you know what happened? So she thought through this gender politics that is going on in the country. After much thinking, she said both. Then the boy went into deep thinking. After thinking for a while, he came back and asked, Mama, is God black or white? This is also a big debate. The racial debate is a very big debate. So after thinking through everything, all the racial politics in the country, she said both. The boy went into very profound thinking. Then he came back and asked, Mama, is God straight or gay?
Uh-oh.
She thought through all the politics involved with that aspect of life, and then she said both. The boy jumped in joy, I got it, it's Michael Jackson. I don't know how you arrived at your beliefs. But I think it's so human and so wonderful of you to see what I know, what I do not know, I do not know. Because I do not know is the greatest possibility in your life. Only if you see I do not know, the possibility of ever knowing opens up. Everything you do not know, if you believe, is gone. So the question is not this or that, it is not even this versus that. See, this is a simplistic debate that has come to the world today, everywhere, and unfortunately it's coming to our country also. Are you for or against? Arey, life is not all for and against. There are many aspects to life. If you consider life, you are never for or against anything. The question is, what we are doing right now, is it appropriate to the situation in which we exist? Our actions must be appropriate, they must work, they must benefit. Otherwise you will go right versus wrong. then even the people who think they are not religious have all become religious fanatics. They think they are liberals, they think they are something, but they're all taken the position of fanatics. I'm right, you're wrong. Life is not between right and wrong.
That's the way it... I say that's the way it is kind of in America. I'm hoping it's just a minority. It seems like it's much bigger. I'm hoping it's not. But I do believe it to be growing. I do believe it to be getting worse. Again, I say believe. I don't know for sure.
Life is only about, in a given moment, are you doing the appropriate action? That's the most important thing about life.
And very much so. Sorry to pause again, but I mean, this is again something that's a lot of debates in, I won't say debate, but just being talked about in America and being kind of pushed. It's the fact that they blame people of current times for past actions, not realizing that this certain action has happened throughout human history since the beginning of time, from all people against all other people. It's not just one group of people doing it to another group of people. It's all group of people doing it to all groups of people. Even groups of people within their own groups of people. I'm saying that generically because it does apply to just about everything bad in humanity. You know, did someone punch another person? Yes, every race has been punched and every sex has been punched. So there's no one that's an exception to that. You know, it's not like, oh, this person is the only person that's ever punched everyone else. No one's ever punched them back. You know, it's like, no, everyone's been punched.
I would like to ask something about which is related to belief.
Little closer, please.
Okay. So we are either stuck in the past memories or thinking about future, setting up goals and planning according to our goals. But it's not necessary every time things turn up the way we have decided, planned. So is it like everything is pre-decided by the fate?
So is somebody up there, not you guys, huh? Somebody up there, are they deciding everything? See, up, because all of you are in a design institute, you must know this much, that you're on a round planet, am I right? You're on a round planet, and the damn thing is spinning all the time. So if you look up, invariably you're looking up in the wrong direction. You're not even on the North Pole, you're at a certain latitude. Do you know what is really up in this cosmos? Which is up? Hello? Do you know? Is it somewhere marked this side up in this cosmos? So you don't even know which is up, but you know who is up. This is really dangerous, you know. You don't even know what is up, but you know who is up. You not only know him, you know his name, you know his wife's name, how many children he has, what he likes for his birthday, you know it all. But you don't know a thing about yourself. So, this thing about destiny is somebody up there deciding everything. Too much has been said about it. Even the… I don't know if it is… we call this Kili Shastra. Do you have this, the parrots tell the future? You have it in Gujarat? Huh? Some green parakeet will tell the future. See, if a bird can tell your future, you must be bird-brained, huh? Hello? If a bird can tell your future, there must be something wrong with your brain, isn't it? In this culture, forever, we told you, your life is your karma. Karma means doing, action. When we say your life is your karma, what it means is your life is your making, 100%. There is no idea of the God in this culture. All the people whom you worship are people who walk this planet or who walk this geography at some point of time. We bow down to them because we value whatever they did or whatever they offered to us. But there is no idea of the God. Even those people went through all kinds of trials and tribulations, even their life did not unfold the way they wanted. Yes or no? See, Rama is still having real estate issues. He couldn't even settle that in his life. And after 6,000, 7,000 years, still he not able to settle it. So, he's not deciding your destiny for sure. It is just that he is setting up an example for you, no matter what life throws at you. Because what life throws at you is not your choice. But what you make out of it is 100% your choice. Yes? You cannot decide what the world will throw at you. But what you will make out of it is 100% yours, isn't it?
I think this is the major lessons that is needed throughout just the world. A lot of people tend to blame, and also responsibility too. Other people tend to blame, like, oh, I can't do this because this person did this or that person did that. It's like, yeah, you have no control of what other people do. You have 100% control over your life and what you do, what you choose to do. And there's a major victimhood mentality. I say major, I'm hoping it's a minority. Again, it seems big, I think it's growing. I'm hoping it's a minority of people that's doing this, that are playing the victimhood because if something doesn't go their way, they say it's not their fault, it's everyone oppressing them. And like, dude, no, you know, you have control over your life. Don't get me wrong, there could be some people oppressing you, but you still have control over your life. You can still make things happen. Things doesn't always have to turn out 100% the way that you plan it to be, because there's no one's life turn out that way. Not a single person. And essentially what Sadhguru was talking about there, I mean, even what's his name? The owner of Amazon, the owner of Google, the owner of YouTube, not everything in their life turned out. Even they're billionaires, millionaires, or whatever, not everything in their life turned out their way. They had to work their butts off to get to that point. And there are not, don't get me wrong, there are people who inherited money, but still, even then, their life didn't turn out that way. You look at rich people who are suffering mentally because they're so sad, depressed, or whatever, and yet they have billions of dollars again.
It's like this. You okay? I can tell.
So how to
No.
act in a way so that we get the desired results?
On a certain day, a lady went to sleep. In her sleep, she had a dream. In her dream, she saw a hunk of a man standing there and staring at her. Then he started coming closer and closer and closer. He came so close, she could even feel his breath. She trembled, not in fear. Then she asked, "What will you do to me?" The man said, "Well, lady, it's your dream." What's happening in your mind, in your emotion, in your experience is 100% your doing, isn't it so? Hello? But right now, whatever happens outside is happening inside of you. This is why this question is coming up. Otherwise, if you decided what is happening within you, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? You must choose, all of you. If your thought and emotion happen just the way you want it, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? What's your choice for yourself? What you want for your neighbor may be debatable. But for yourself, it's 100% clear, you want highest level of pleasantness for this one, isn't it? So right now, only because the outside is determining the nature of your experience, you are worried about what happens outside. If you created a situation within you, you are always blissed out. Outside is just a play, you would play it with full force, isn't it? Right now you hesitate, most people's entire life is half steps because the fear of suffering, what will happen, what will happen? If you are determining the nature of your experience, fear of suffering is out. Only when the fear of suffering is gone will you walk full stride in your life. Otherwise, all the time you will take half steps. Human potential is hugely crippled simply because of fear of suffering. How did we get all these things? Somebody read this book, these days from scriptures people have come to Dan Brown, but But otherwise, the older the book is, the more wise it is somehow. How do you believe? What makes you believe that people who lived here 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 years ago were smarter than you and me? Why? Why do you believe that? I don't think so. Then also there were some smart people, then also there was a whole bunch of idiots. Yes or no? Now also it is true, some people are smart, rest are doing whatever rubbish they are doing. Yes or no? Do you believe 10,000 years ago everybody was super smart and wise and fantastic? No, that's not the way it is. So this whole idea, anything that falls out of an old book must be sacred, has to go. That is not the nature of this culture, because even when so-called divine entities came, we badgered them with questions, isn't it? Shiva opened his mouth, his wife asked him 1,000,000 questions. Krishna tries to say something to his closest friend, that guy is full of questions. None of them could ever give a commandment and say, this is what you must do. Only debate and debate and debate, because that's healthy. That means you're seeking. If you give a commandment and this is it, that is a full stop to your life. It's very, very important that we understand why human life has become significant on this planet, because there are many other creatures who are physically stronger than us, faster than us, many other things. They're even more beautiful than us, many of them. The only reason is because we have a certain consciousness and a capability that we can craft our destiny. We can determine what happens within me. Once we determine what happens within me, then outside is not really such a big obstacle. Right now, the biggest problem is everything that happens outside either gives me pleasure or hurts me. Now this is a crippling process. This one thing you fix, that what happens within you is determined only by you, nobody else but you. If this one thing happens to you, you will see, you will be the master of your destiny. If you take charge of your body, if you have some mastery over your body, 15 to 20% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. If you have some mastery over your mind, 50 to 60% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. If you get mastery over your fundamental life energies, 100% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. It is just individual human beings, will they strive for that or not is the only question. I'm sorry. What I just said? The last line. I said 15 to 20% of life will be and destiny will be in your hands if you just have mastery over your physical body. Have you noticed this? Somebody who is physically very competent takes charge of things effortlessly, but their mastery over their life will be only 15–20%. If you have mastery over your thought and emotion, 50 to 60% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. But if you take charge of the fundamental life process within you, 100% of your life and destiny will be in your hands.
I'm gonna pause it here. So the end of the video and me talking now, I will say that's interesting. I never thought about that. It's very interesting. If you're 100% control of your physical body, 15 to 20%. I like to think of it as examples. If you want to be fit and you have control over your body, I wouldn't say your physical desires. Yeah, a lot of. I wouldn't say 15 to 20%. Just some portion of your life, whatever that may be. The physical portion of your life will be 100% in your control. If you can control your hunger, your sexual desires, your desire for the next iPhone or the next Android phone or the next car, the next house, the next pants or shirt or shoes, you'll have control over those certain aspects 100%. But it's not 100% of everything that you can control in life, obviously. I guess he's speaking in totality of life itself, which he did say at the very end. Once you get to control of your body, your emotions, mind, and your thoughts, you get 100%. Or is it your mind? Yeah, but yeah, if you could, I would just say, if you get control over your physical body, whatever processes those may be. I can't think of any. Like your physical, you want to work out, you want to be in shape or whatever. Those things, you can get 100% control over those things, and then your mind. If you can get 100% control over your mind, then you can really focus on tasks that you're trying to do. You can focus on learning whatever that you want. And I mean, I never thought about it that way. I never really thought about it anyway at all, really, until he said that. And that's the biggest issue, honestly. A lot of people are, I say a lot of people, there are some people out there who have ADHD, genuine problem. And there are other people out there who just gets bored of, who have something similar to ADHD, but not the actual thing. It's probably what I have. It's hard for me. It's not necessarily hard for me to focus, but it's just, I guess it's partial laziness, maybe. And so again, I can't blame that. I can only blame myself for that, absolutely. And I just don't really care to focus, I suppose, because I'm content. And maybe I don't have the desire, the passion for it. Perhaps that is. And I have to realize that. And if I want to do something, I have to realize that I have the ability to do it. But whether I want to or not, that's up to me. And that's what Sadhguru is talking about the mind to, if you have to have the mental focus and your body focus to be able to do certain things. You get more and more control over your life, the more you're able to control your body and your thoughts. Now, again, the life processes, I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about on that one. But perhaps, I'm not sure. Unless he's talking about how blissful, how content you can be in life. Maybe you have control over your thoughts, your ability to learn things in terms of, like if you want to do this, or if you want to learn how to tie a rope in such a fancy way, which I do want to learn how to wrap a power cord. And I can focus my mind on that so that I don't get distracted by other things. Maybe that's what he's talking about in terms of the mind. The ability to learn and do things. The physical boundaries were, your physical desires. And then the life process, maybe it's more internal happiness and bliss, that the fact that you don't derive your happiness from external things. And understand that you yourself are, this is what I say, you yourself are content. You're neither happy nor sad at all. It's just contentment. But Sadhguru says bliss. So perhaps that's what he's talking about in the last part, the life processes where you are bliss itself, and you don't derive happiness from external things. I don't know if that's what he meant on the last part. That could be the second part, I'm not sure. But I can understand the first one, physical desires. If you can get 100% control of that, you get a lot of your processes in life in control. Your thoughts, your ability to focus, to learn, to do what to have your mind do what you want it to do. That's really weird to say. But yes, to have your mind do what it wants to have your mind do what you want to do, and not it be so scatterbrain, as they say, where you're trying to do something and then you get distracted. It's like, oh, I gotta do this. This is boring. Oh, what is that? It's like, oh no, I gotta do this. Kind of like that, where when you can focus, do what you gotta do, you'll become more successful because there's more parts of your body, mind, and life processes that are going together. And I think, again, that last part is whenever you can focus on this and not have to worry about external factors that will affect your path of whatever it is that you're trying to do. Where you derive happiness from inside and not worry so much about what other people think. You just do your job and you're content with it. Again, I think. Anyways, that's part 1 of Sadhguru at NID, Ahmedabad. Let me know if I'm saying that right. Probably not. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.